Larry! Okay.
Oh my, Mr. Luis feels that way about me?
Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed.
I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing.
Worry not. And in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him.
Does that mean Mr. Luis is the witness today?
No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand.
Sister Bikini.
She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Donham, correct?
That is correct. It wasn't me.
Very well. Very well, then.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes?
You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed...
Don't worry. I've made the necessary arrangements.
I see.
Iris, it's a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I'm a defense attorney. Defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once.
Mr. Edgeworth.
I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself, whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted.
Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands.
Here we go. Oh, it's the Canadian judge! Well, court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris at Hazakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready, eh? However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. The court finds the defendant... Oh no. Really?
The prosecution stands ready.
Oh, and you are...
Francisco von Karma, prosecuting prodigy.
Von Karma used... I can't remember... What voice did I use for her? Shit. Perchance, you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma.
Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma. That is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purposes of prosecuting this case.
You did? Then you must be quite a big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
I am almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once.
I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor.
And Ms. Von Karma, do you have anything to say?
There's no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office.
There isn't? Well, I'm sure. Ah!
I told you, there is no such weakling.
What is that, a whip? I'm not sure I care for such a thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip and...
Hold it!
I have no objection to the whip.
Oh! Oh! Oh no! Fuck. Step brother and stepsister. This is my other mood. It's okay. You don't? No step. Wait, but his dad is a different dad than her dad. They have the same mom? What? Well, Karma just stole him? But Karma just stolen shit. It's okay.
The prosecution can wheel a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there's still only one truth. That is why I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I'd expected to face Phoenix Wright here today. But looking at you now, maybe this is what I've been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. That's smug. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic.
Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People being bizarre. People acting bizarrely in my court. Wah, wah!
The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor.
Kidnapping, I guess. Yeah, he stole it. Very well, Miss Von Karma. Please give an outline of the case. With as little whipping as possible.
The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Donin. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard.
Okay, but that's weird, because the sword doesn't look like it comes out of the statue.
She had been stabbed through her torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue.
So for the himbo, okay. We're short in this picture. Is this the weapon in question, correct? Very well, the court accepts this photo of the crime scene.
Okay. There is no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris.
Okay, yeah, so it's... Okay.
After all, there's a witness to her crime.
Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand.
And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney.
Miss Kia.
Witness, state your name and occupation, please.
Hold on there. I'm not sure about not being sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight.
If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defense's lobby for our back pain-plagued witness.
Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please.
She's so little! Once again, your name and occupation, please.
You know me. Well, I'm the head nun of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini? Nice to meet everyone. Oh, you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. Ah!
The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lecher in their hearts should leave the sanctuary at once.
You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. What is with this case?
In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question.
That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let's hear what you have to say, then. First, tell us about your own movements that night, eh?
I'm doing a terrible accent, but I don't care.
That night I was helping an acolyte with the training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So, I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to the Hazakura Temple. There's no bath in the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soak. As I tried to finish it, just as I was heading back, that's when I saw it. Oh, so it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple? Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed in the inner temple.
That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. There's only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle, now are you, Miles Edgeworth?
Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination.
The night of the murder.
Hold it!
Now, what is this inner temple?
Well, you see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? Well, I'll be the ones asking the questions, madam. We'll be the ones asking the questions. In order to do that, a place is such strong and spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training.
And how exactly do you help with this process?
It's all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising.
Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip in your case. If that is the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple where the murder took place?
Hold it!
Violently.
Violently?
That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and a fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training.
On the night of the murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again?
That's right. Raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off.
Hold it!
You left Iris to help. With what?
What do you think? The acolyte's training, of course. I just passed 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercise proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolytes so they don't pass away.
Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the Inner Temple, correct?
Yes, yes. She's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions.
Hold it!
So you returned to the Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath?
My back is to blame for everything. It's a do or be done in kind of world after all.
How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking?
My, what a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? This is why you have to watch the young ones.
What are you going on about? I was... Ah!
Pathetic, Miles Edgeworth. The lowest of the low.
Is there some sort of kick-me sign stuck to the defense's bench?
Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from a puss for too long, you understand, so... Fish.
Hold it!
The crime took place in the courtyard, correct?
When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard.
That's right. In other words, it was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. Oh, there's no complicated setup in this case.
That certainly seems to be true.
There's indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I could clearly point out what that is, then I can begin to quantify just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. Okay, so... What sort of information do I have, okay? Lightning, approximately 10 to approximately 11. Lightning struck at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. Snow is from 7 to approximately 10:50. And the death certificates, time 10 to 11, costs, loss of blood from stab in the back, body fell 10 feet after death. After death? Oh. Okay, courtyard rank, okay, wait, the back was the killer. Hey, Wrath. Huh. I feel like I'm missing something major, but I don't know what. I was doing so good with the Cyclops, and now I've got nothing.
fuck? Huh. Because you said it was just after 10, right? Well, Unga Bunga everyone with what, though, BG? You can't Unga Bunga this. You have to... I cannot Unga Bunga. I'm gonna say, but I can't Unga Bunga this at all. There's too much evidence to do each one. No, that's ridiculous. Lion hot soak. No, that's gonna take way too long. No. I need to actually stop and think about this. I think it has something to do with the weather report. Snow with occasional lightning strikes, okay. It's from 7 o'clock to approximately 10:50, and then lightning from 10 to approximately 11. Lightning struck the bridge at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. She's killed between 10 and 11. So the bridge is already on fire. The room tells us 10 to 11 cost. But it fell 10 feet after death. I'm gonna try it. Nope, that's not it. No, it's not it. Well done, Your Honor. What? I was only testing you just now. Then why did you try testing this penalty too? It's like I shouldn't have spoken in haste. I don't know what okay, so like her saying Iris, leaving Iris to the acolyte because Iris said she didn't do it. She says Iris did it. Iris said she was never there. Unless it's the blackmail letter. No. See? Iris says she never went out there. No, I don't. That's the problem. I thought it was the blackmail letter, but... because that says, you know... tonight at 10 at Heavenly Hall. I don't have her testimony at all. Oh. God damn it. I forgot I had that! Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on the powers of observation and memory, after all. Well. Don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No! She said that! A defendant or witness, who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant's simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. Ah!
All people lie. That is my belief.
Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie. Which means you must call your memory into question. Dear, dear, dear. You're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you? Well, that isn't exactly what I... My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. And I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show a more decisive piece of evidence.
Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick.
Please add your comments about Iris to the testimony. Let's return to the cross-examination. That's helping back with her temple, but... What did you see back at I was kidding. She was dressed exactly as she had been at dinner.
Hold it.
Are you sure that you're not making a mistake?
You, young man, need to get your estimation to be up from the floor. Iris always wears the same clothes. The smallest thing out of place would have stood out like a sore thumb to me. You're making a mistake. Thinking I made a mistake. We're an excellent finish there, witness.
Still, I have to wonder.
Yeah, that's... see? Yeah, I know what to present.
Objection.
She gave that to Phoenix just before lights out. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct?
Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wait a minute.
Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it? Ms. Von Karma. I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the Iris she saw would have been missing this very hood.
Wait, where? She's on boxes, oh my god!
She's on a lot of boxes. It's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it.
Order in the court! Witness, your response! Wah!
Sister, this hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you?
Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see. A stockpile. A surplus of hoods, eh? Each has only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. Well, this is quite strange. Wah!
If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Ms. Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt.
Witness? Well, I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt. You must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this.
Sister, you should continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. The seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation.
It sounds like a sex game. After my bath. Well, I finished my bath around 11. I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I look around and... Iris says, "Oh, Mystic Elise." Iris says, "Oh, Mystic Elise. And with the sword of all things." Mystic Elise was staying in the courtroom, which faces onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? Well, if I was in your place, then it wouldn't be much fun Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth. Then it wouldn't be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Well, it's something like that.
This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours?
Okay. I have a feeling I know how to do this one. I have a feeling I know exactly what to do. How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes, on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge.
Still, you never made it back there that night, did you?
That's right. I was headed along the walkway toward the main hall. As I walked back, I heard a noise from the courtyard and took a look and...
You say you heard a noise.
Thump! Just like that.
That can only be the sound of the victim falling.
It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump! Just like that. Oh, but then, couldn't this noise you've heard been the snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that.
That is what a laugh gets a whipping.
Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and... Iris says, oh, Mystic Elise, with a sword of all things.
Hold it!
This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. But some doubt remains on those claims.
Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to...
The murderer who stabbed the victim with a sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw, as clearly as you can.
Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that's been bugging me all this time.
Please, don't keep us in suspense.
Her hood!
Her hood?
That's right! It's coming back to me! Iris, she wasn't wearing her hood! I thought something was out of place, but... It makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right?
You've dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth.
What are you saying, Mr. Edward? Is this testimony important?
It's important. This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony. Miles Edgeworth, if you want to hang yourself, you need only ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip. I hate his hair.
I hate your hair.
I don't know what your hair looks like.
We just add the statement to your testimony. No problem. There's an ever hood on.
Hold it!
Are you sure about that?
Yes, after all, we always wear the same clothes. Ah, I don't mean because we're poor, you understand. It's our style. Yes, that's it.
There's absolutely no need to explain yourself.
Anyway, she looked different from normal, so that really stuck out.
Like me holding a whippet puppy instead of my whip. At least then it might bite you and not someone else.
I used to have her hood on, I'm sure of it. Very well. Now, please tell us about the victim, eh?
Hold it!
The courtyard? The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct?
Which means the victim's room was on the second floor? No. Hazakura Temple is a single-story building. But the mountain itself slopes downward, which elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest rooms in the back to about the height of a two-story building.
Peak of his style.
Something you got no taste? Oh, I see. And the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct? Yes, I should know. I'm the one who carried all her things to that room, after all.
Hold it!
What makes you so sure of all this?
It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Thump, just like that.
You're one smart sister, I'll give you that.
Zemsi!
The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height.
It appears that the witness is not mistaken then. Yep, I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of the Hazakura Temple.
There's only 2 of them working there. What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? No snappy comeback remark? It doesn't feel like she's lying. This is very powerful testimony, too. She claims to have seen the instant in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There are only 2 things I can believe in right now. My client, Iris, and my own abilities as a defense attorney.
Okay, so I think I know Okay. So it says she was stabbed after death in the court document. Caused loss of blood from stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after death. So I'm doing it.
Impressive logic. That's what I'd like to say, anyway.
Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter.
However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed.
That's right. It says after death right here. I've got all my hair. Yep. I would look so weird bald. Glad I'm not. I have a weird shaped head. Hair is the only thing good up there.
Seen as contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go and take a 10-foot fall?
I was, actually. Afraid that, like, I know my hairline is receding slightly, but it's only slightly because I look at pictures of me younger and I have, like, the 5 head. It's right there. Order! Victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree?
That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room.
Fuck you, Kia.
And she was then thrown out of a window down into the courtyard below.
Were there any signs of a struggle in Miss Donim's room?
She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a bloodstain, wouldn't you agree?
Well, Miss Montgomery, was there any blood? Ah!
No traces of blood were found in the victim's room.
Your women just caused traces of blood to be found in my glorious playoff beard. However, if there was no blood in the room, then your claim that... Wah!
I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure your honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood.
When it produces the most blood?
Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that'd be when the blade is removed. Which is true. Indeed. With the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid on the wound.
Well, that's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. Perfectly reasonable line of thinking. Wait, I didn't see what you said! God damn it! Fuck you! I hate it here.
We've come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions.
Order, order, order! I must admit that this is a probable version of events.
I'd expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point.
It seems. And we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Ha! Witness, please! Remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The way the winter snow has bent me out of shape. Especially my back and my mood.
Sister, please, give us your testimony.
Mr. Chet, goddamn it, Mary.
I will give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here.
With the whip? Oh, boy. All right, all right. Further details. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I'd never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? When I awoke, Mystic Amy was... stabbing Mystic Elise through the back. Oh, Mystic... Oh, I see. Well, it all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory.
Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Francisca von Karma. And I'm here to teach you just that. Further details. Okay.
Hold it!
At that time, was the victim bleeding?
Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course. So I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood. Not then.
I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed?
Hold it!
Okay. Think carefully. This is very important.
It's Iris we are talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth.
I see.
No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body.
It might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in a room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth.
I've never seen so much blood before.
Hold it!
So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood?
That's right! Some of it is splattered onto Iris, too.
When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room. And her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? Clothes of blood-flecked as well?
That seems quite conclusive to me.
What should I do? Press this point further?
Yes! Always press further, Miles!
Going back to your previous statement. You said that you saw little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now, you say you saw the victim bleeding?
Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed. But I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day.
Pulling the sword out?
Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out. Witness, you would add the statement to your testimony. Oh, was that important?
Yeah, I could tell. She wasn't stabbing her, she was pulling the blade out. She was trying to save her. More important than you can imagine.
But the hit was smoothly drawn out.
Hold it!
Smoothly, you say? You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out?
That's right. The whole thing happened right next to the gold statue of Mystic Amy. Mystic Elise was on the ground and Iris was stooped over her. The sword was buried up to the hilt. When Iris stood up, the sword in her hand just slid out of Mystic Elise's body. It slid out from the gaping wound. Ah! Well, it goes without saying that if the sword was removed, there would be bleeding.
Nothing out of place here. Is that really the case? I can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. That something which couldn't possibly have happened appears to have happened. Okay,
The blood isn't up to the hilt, I know that. And if she says that it moved out, it's still in her though. I'm gonna keep pressing and see if...
was the bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword?
No mistaking, I remember it all, clear as day.
Don't you think that's a bit odd? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? Why would the killer pull out the sword? What? If all she wanted to do was place the weapon in the hand of the gold statue, then there was no reason to remove it from the body. All that would have accomplished is causing the victim to bleed unnecessarily. Your thoughts, Ms. Von Karma?
That's... Indeed. It is strange now that you mention it.
I'm going to need to find an answer to this mystery, too. Anyway, the witness saw something terrible. So what did you do after that, witness?
Can't blame me, okay, she fainted.
Now, on to what the killer did next. You saw none of it, correct?
Well, I was unconscious.
How long were you out for?
I don't know. 10, maybe 20 minutes? A young man with a very prickly looking head woke me up. By stepping on me, actually. Well, I'm not sure I like that method of resuscitation. I wasn't asking for mouth to mouth or anything of the sort. But I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right about then, let me tell you.
I shall have words with the offender personally. What'd you see upon awakening?
It was through the back.
Hold it!
By Mystic Amy, you are referring to the golden statue, correct?
Just stabbing someone with this Shichishoto, a sacred treasure, is terrible enough. But to then make Mystic Amy hold the blade! Truly a heinous, despicable crime.
It's easy to despise something. Anyone can do it. However, there is something that cannot be done so easily.
Whatever it is, I'm sure is doubly hard for you. Anyway, what is the problem?
Exactly why would the killer set up this gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reasoning behind that?
No, I don't think I can. There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. That's true, so true. It's easily, in early spring, for example, I have to find myself...
There isn't always. That phrase might come in handy someday. There are too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it unnecessary to use a Shishishodo from Amy's statue as the weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws in their accessibility, perhaps then I will begin to find the truth. Okay. Plunged into the hilt. I hope I'm right on this. Because it's only got blood on the tip, but I don't know if that actually matters for the game. But let's... Oh! Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least I like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here.
What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you.
What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to the hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities.
Well, what do you mean? Please explain your...
Yeah! Explain yourself. To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that.
Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I, too, may appear to be weak and frail. But I can crush men under my heel and make them weep, should I so choose.
The objection stands. I worked a little back there, I must admit. That isn't the only issue here. If the sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. It certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. We also have the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when a blade is left in the body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. Okay, so I got to the right answer for the wrong reason, but I got to the right answer.
That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the Shishishodo. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly, and may still sometimes stop the blood loss.
I'm not finished.
There's still one more conclusive contradiction.
You still got more?
This one is simple.
If the sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt... Oh, never mind, I'm right.
Why is there only blood on the tip of it?
Okay, I was right. He saved the best for last. I'm smart again. If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be no blood along the entire length of the sword.
No!
Ah!
Bravo, Miles Edgeworth. Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that.
What does this all mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer.
And that is?
The weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shishishodo. What?
A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool.
Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon?
Well, it's because Mr. Gamey was holding it.
Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing.
The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shichishoto was the murder weapon.
Order, order, order! Ah!
So maybe the Shichishoto was not the murder weapon. Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object.
That's true. Response, Mr. Edgeworth?
If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises.
The obvious question?
Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if the sword-like object was found.
That's the question, Ms. Von Karma.
No evidence of that kind was found.
Another mystery to throw into the pile. A trail without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually.
What is it, sister?
I was just thinking. It's possible that just maybe what actually happened was it was just over there. What exactly are going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of.
What? Well then, I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister.
Impossible.
What else? What else could this old woman have seen?
Oh no! Location of the weapon. I saw him murdered around 11 p.m. And after asking that it would be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there, I saw tracks. Tracks indicated the snowmobile had been used. It takes 50 minutes to walk to Dusky Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into Eagle River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She could drive a snowmobile after all. Witness, please, tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape. Well, with my back and my age, you know.
Quite. There were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here's a photograph.
A snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory.
The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusky Bridge.
Well, wait a second. Oh, that's not what I want. Did they... Oh, they didn't add any to the... Okay, so there's only one set of tracks, though. It was there was a set of feet, of footprints leading away, but then there was just one leading to where it was parked.
Meme City. What's Meme City?
Oh, God damn it. Okay, let's take a look at it again. Okay, see, there's only one set of tracks. It's coming from Dusky Bridge, not parked at... I mean, it probably means nothing, but... This game is responsible for dozens, if not hundreds, of different types of memes. Oh, Phoenix.
Physical problem, yes. The Eagle River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon.
Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. Let's press. Let's press. Okay.
You are sure about the time?
Yes, I was worried about it after all. Why was that? Because I have a strong sense of responsibility, especially this time of year. The Akala was being doused in freezing water at the time. I couldn't very well take it easy in the bath all night now, could I? So at 11, I decided to leave Hazakura Temple.
Her estimation of the time seems reliable, at least. Please continue, sister.
After asking that it be reported, I went out to the main gate.
You asked Phoenix Wright to report the crime, correct?
Right. The one who trampled me.
It seems she is the type to hold a grudge.
There isn't a phone in the main hall, so I sent him to the bridge.
Phoenix Wright? He didn't even have his cell phone on him.
He had forgotten it at home, apparently.
What a naive boy, as always. Not only do I always carry my phone, but I always have my whip in hand, too. Anyway, I was really scared. It was taking him a while to get back. So I thought I'd go out by the main gate for a spell. And there I saw tracks. Tracks indicated the snowmobile had been used. As I recall, there was a snowmobile outside the main gate when I visited. That's it. That's the only one we have. It'll run no matter how much snow falls. Now, you're certain the snowmobile was there at the main gate when you arrived? Yes, of course. It was parked in front of the gate. So, she'd already gone, discarded the murder weapon, and returned by that time. I'm not sure if this is really relevant. What should I do? Press further! I need answers to every possible doubt. The snowmobile in question. Was it still warm at that time? Huh? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean, eh? What do you mean, Miles Edgeworth? I'm playing to a slow crowd here. It goes without saying that using a snowmobile will heat its engine. If it was still warm, then that means it was recently used. Ah, I see. I never thought of that. That's right. I overlooked that too. Of course you did. Then answer the question, please, witness. I don't often go around touching hot engines. However, now that you mention it, there wasn't any snow on it. Snow? Yes, for some reason, only the snowmobile wasn't covered in snow. There wasn't any snow on it. Curses. It seems highly likely that the killer did use the snowmobile then, eh? How long does it take to get to Dusky Bridge by snowmobile? 15 minutes walk, less than 5 using a snowmobile. In that case, why didn't you use it yourself? You could have spared yourself some walking. Ah, there's a reason for that. Have we got a moment for me to explain? I think that's why the question was asked in the first place. It was about a month ago. I was driving my beloved little snowmobile, happy as can be. It fetched some water and was heading back when I went and crashed into a tree. The tree and my back both went crunch. Just like that. Crunch. Crunch. I haven't been able to find the courage to write anything since then. Anyway, the killer must have used it. Wait, it went crunch? How come there's no damage to the snowmobile? Refresh our memory. How long were you knocked out for? Like I said, somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes. It's possible to get to the bridge and back in 10 minutes using the snowmobile. I have to concede that that's more than enough time. Is that all you wish to concede, Miles Edgeworth? That's good done. She could drive a snowmobile. Well, it would have been possible, time-wise. One element remains out of place here. Oh? And what would this mystery element be? The killer's reasoning, Your Honor. Why did the killer do all of this? Why go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon when there are other methods? Too many unanswered questions. Your response, Ms. Von Karma? Ah! Turning to me for help over the slightest thing. Why don't you think for yourself once in a while, Your Honor? What? She's over the top as always. Anyway, whatever the reason, the fact remains that the defendant could have done this. The murder weapon was disposed of in the river. Another point to me, Miles Edgeworth. Another mystery to feed the fire. Was there any reason to go and throw away the murder weapon? Luckily, there is surely a problem with this testimony. Now all I have to do is start poking holes in this flawed account. Okay, so... that's not what I wanted to do, damn it. Okay, so we got... and then tracks. Yeah, there's a set of tracks leading outward or inward or whatever. And then there's a snowmobile that... Okay, so we're to the main gate.
Or actually, hold on a second. Snow report should around 11, 10, 20 minutes, and... Oh, where's the weather report? Lightning struck at 10:45, around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. Does that have to do with it? So they murdered around 11. So should we pass it? Yeah, so they would have, yeah. The fire. But I don't know if that's right though. Ah! I'm overthinking it again. No, it's saying that they just went to the Eagle River. I feel like it's important though. Ah. No. God damn it. Or is it like I think, like the picture is showing... Nope, god damn it! I'm actually kind of lost on this one. Fuck. What do we got for evidence? Okay, murder weapon. That's, yeah, what we think is the murder weapon. Chasing evil spirits. Blackmail letter. Surrounding area. Weather. Photo of Elise. Rang a bell at 10 o'clock. Cost. Time between 10 and 11 is when she died. But I have to contradict something, though, Rat. That's the whole point of the game. I don't just give up. It loops back around until I find something to contradict. If we lose it, it's because the game is written that way, not during one of these parts. So I gotta figure out what the hell to contradict and where, and why. Like, this literally only it shows two sets of tracks. One, a set of footprints leading away, and one, the snowmobile driving back. There's only one set of snowmobile tracks. That's what's really messing me up here. Shit. Like, I used the photo on this part and it did not work. Like, ah! This is frustrating! Or did I present it in the wrong spot? I put it in the wrong spot. God damn it. I made this photograph prove something. It proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. So I had the right idea, I'm just using it in the wrong spot. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? I still count that as a win. What do you mean? Iris left Hasakura Temple, threw the weapon in the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back.
You're right. You're forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction, now doesn't it?
Ah, no, yeah, I see. While she was at the river, the snow stopped. Leaving just the return tracks in the snow.
What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered the set of the tracks?
There is a contradiction!
The tracks to the river were covered by snow. What a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain why there's a rude index finger currently pointed in my general direction? No need. The evidence would do all of the talking for me.
On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge in order to dispose of the murder weapon. The outgoing tracks were erased by snow, or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks are not covered by snow. Weather report! Because if we check it, lasted till 10:50. She said it was after 11.
Witness, please tell us again what time it was when you witnessed the crime.
Like I said, it was around 11.
Of course, this means that the weapon was thrown away after that time, correct? On that note, please take a look at this data. Here's the weather report for Eagle Mountain on the night of the murder.
The weather report?
The snow started to fall at around 7 p.m., but it stopped at around 10:50.
Therefore, when the sister witnessed the crime at 11 p.m., the snow had already stopped falling. Is it possible for any tracks made after that time to have been covered up?
Ah.
Order! Well, very well then. It looks like Ms. Von Karma's claim has been snowed in. Ah!
It's too soon to be closing this trial due to snow. Miles Edgeworth, how pathetic for you to rely on the weather of all things. Answer me this, then. When is a weather report ever correct?
Oh, no. You got it all wrong. This isn't a forecast. This is an actual data. Ah!
Forecast data on weather reports have some inaccuracies. It may still be snowing in the vicinity well past 11 p.m.
It's true. We cannot be totally sure, eh?
What? How did she pull that off?
It had stopped snowing at that Hazakura temple when the murder took place. You need to provide conclusive evidence of this.
I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Very well. I, too, cannot allow any doubt to remain concerning this testimony. Huh. You can't back down, can you? Such a perfectionist, Miles Edgeworth.
Very well then, Mr. Edgeworth. Where is your evidence that had already stopped snowing when the victim was killed?
The very crime scene photo itself, Your Honor.
Observe! Snow is on the statue, yet none is on the body.
Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in that courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If we want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I am referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow. With just one exception. And that is the victim herself, Miss Elise Donim. Why is there no snow on top of her? The answer is simple. It stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be two sets of tracks. Ah! Feels being excessive.
Order! Just what are you... Ah!
Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all the facts point to. That night, someone used a snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple.
From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing.
Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow.
Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow had stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained.
Can I say something? This all sounds a bit fishy to me.
What does, sister?
There is only one key for the snowmobile.
Furthermore, on the night in question, we know that the defendant had it.
The key was found in her room after the murder. Which can only mean that night, Iris used the snowmobile to go to the inner temple.
But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance.
Snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge. So she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot.
That sounds right.
But what's odd is, when I let Iris return to Hazakura Temple, I didn't see anything near Dusky Bridge.
You haven't just failed to see it, sister. You must just fail to see it, sister.
Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow, too.
But that is impossible. Order in the court. What does this all mean? So then what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be 2 sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used a snowmobile to return to Hazakura Temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble.
I think we've learned all we can from this witness. Yes, I've nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know. But then, that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there was someone, a witness who could testify to having seen the snowmobile.
A witness, huh?
Was there no one out walking, perhaps, near Dusky Bridge at that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Oh, an idiot would go out wandering in that. Unless they had something really important to do.
That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on that subarctic night. Your Honor. Actually, there just might be one individual who may be of help to us.
Really?
You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are 2 things about him that do come to mind.
Which are?
First, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder.
And the second being?
He is an idiot. This individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside on that cold night. In other words, he is our kind of idiot.
Edgeworth, who is this idiot you're talking about?
This guy must be
a product of Jean-Luc Delucar's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting.
This is Larry Butts, a disciple of the victim, Elise Donen.
A student? Interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder?
That's... I could tell them all about his designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was, perhaps, searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him. Although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason.
And so, this unfortunate, unreliable-looking man, what exactly was it that he saw?
I intend to extract that from him, right here in this courtroom.
Summon this youth as a witness immediately.
I have no choice, do I? I believe he's in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him.
Very well.
Larry, you may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get to everything out of you.
The court will now adjourn for a 20-minute break. Ms. Von Karma, please see to preparing the next witness. Understood, Your Honor.
Good. Well then, court is now in recess. To be continued. Ah! It's the butts!